Hey guys, it's Saru, and Swords of Legends Online just finished its final alpha privately. I've been covering this game for the last couple of weeks here, and, well, I really wanted to let you guys know my thoughts about it. Before I begin, I want to give you some expectations for this video, as it can seem a little bit crazy. First off, when I actually started this alpha and I got into it, I was using my old GTX 1050, so you'll notice that some of the quality isn't as fantastic, and some of the videos will be from my GTX 50, and some will be from my RTX 3070. So I don't know why I switched GPUs midway, but I did. Secondly, I did not cover the 45 million different features or systems that are in the game either due to the short amount of time that the alpha was up. I didn't want to burn myself out, and honestly there are so many things in this game that I couldn't get into it. I really couldn't get into it. So with that out of the way, let's get right into it. Swords of Legends Online is a brand new MMORPG brought from China. The game has been out over there since 2019, so it's pretty cool to see a title come so quick to the West rather than waiting 5-6 years. The game is extremely inspired by popular Chinese legends, and it has its own video game franchises, 2 movies, a TV series, and I believe an anime that's actually being developed right now that's currently live. Needless to say, the world of Swords of Legends Online is massive. Now I'm going to start off this video with the most controversial question: is it pay to win? I feel like everybody is just completely suspicious of it, and rightfully so. So let's answer that right now. When you enter the cash shop, which you can by using the letter U, at least for me, you'll be greeted with the front page, which basically just means the featured page. You'll also see different categories, and everything in here is completely cosmetic. It has no stats, you can't even trade it. So basically what that means is you can't buy something from the cash shop, you cannot sell it to somebody else or trade it to them. However, you can gift it to them if you decide to do so, but all it will do is unlock it for them. So for example, if you buy a specific mount or costume for another person, you can gift it to them. That doesn't mean like they get it from their inventory, it just unlocks it for them. So yeah, no trading. This is for everything on the cash shop, from outfits, which by the way, some of these items that you buy in game or outfits will include an emote that you can use in game for special effects only. They're only cosmetic. Now the hairstyles that you can see here, I'm not sure if I really want to talk about it, but according to Gameforge, they may move it over to just the character creator. So I'm not going to go over this, but essentially what it is just hairs. You just buy different hairstyles for yourself. Now you have weapon skins, not many at this point, but just a cosmetic skin for your weapon. So that's it, just looks different. Accessories for your body, and here is my favorite, the appearance change. I love the fact that if you just want to change your face or a small part of your body like your eyebrows, your skin tone, you can just change it and pay a small tiny price versus what you would pay for a normal appearance changer, which is about $10. So if you just want to change your eyebrows, it's 50 cents. Now speaking of this category, you also have gender change, which will change your character's gender, as well, you know, pretty much says it in the title. So you can go from male to female or female to male, but I should warn you, if you're watching this right now, there are costumes, and like I said, all the cosmetics are account bound, but if you buy a male costume, that does not mean once you gender change it will turn into a female costume. That means the account item is completely open to all male characters, while you have female characters, you buy that costume, it's open to all female characters. So it's not going to change the costumes for you because they're completely different. And yes, you heard that right, everything is account bound. Your mounts, your residents, weapon skins, everything, even your avatars. Which, by the way, if you want to get a really cool avatar called the Draco avatar and its frame, you can check my previous video on this. Now the cool thing is the point shop system. So say I want to buy something like a residence item for 50 crimson coins, which I guess it's like 50 cents. It'll also give me 50 points, so it's 1-to-1 system. So you'll see the star icon, and I have quite a bit because I bought a lot on this alpha. Holy moly. Luckily they gave us all these coins just to kind of spend in the game just for us, but we don't get to keep it, so I was just letting you know about that before there's any controversy about it. So you'll see different types of cosmetics, mounts, and well, anything else. Lastly, it's the Crystal Dust Shop, which you can get free in-game for doing certain events, dismantling cosmetics of sorts, or just logging in every day and just getting the dust from this specific store. Actually, to be honest, you'll want to get cosmetics, mounts, costumes, and whatever else is in there for free, just for logging in or for doing special events or quests. Now, none of this affects your in-game gameplay, unless you're me, where if I don't look good while I play badly. So no, the game isn't pay to win. This cash shop is set to be the one that's actually coming out with the launch, with more cosmetics coming out later afterwards. So let's talk about the classes. Right now as it stands, we have 6 classes. The Spearmaster, which is a DPS or tank, depending on what you decide to spec with. Berserker, which is the same. Spell Sword, which is full DPS, either range or melee. Bard, which is a DPS or Healer, Summoner, which again is a DPS or healer, and Reaper, which is a DPS and healer. So there are 3 new classes actually that are coming pretty soon, one being a Samurai, or Warrior, we're not really sure what they're going to call it in English, which the Chinese version just got the female variant of. And it looks pretty cool. The Fox class, which I believe is a healer, I'm not entirely sure about that, I just know you can turn into a fox and heal people with love. And the Archer, where you shoot a bow and arrow, because it's an archer. So the cool thing about our version is originally we were set to actually get 5 character slots. We're actually going to be getting 6 because there are 6 classes. A lot of the community were concerned about this. They really want to get 6 character slots because sometimes players just like to play all 6 characters or classes. So that makes sense. And the developer team listened and they are going to be doing 6 character slots. Now you can't actually buy character slots in the game whatsoever. So you're stuck with 6 unless a new class comes out and then you get 7 and 8 and blah, blah, blah. Now for character creation. Now one of the biggest things in an MMORPG is the character creator, right? Swords of Legends Online does that rather well. Though your character won't be as distinguished as, let's say, like Black Desert Online, it definitely has its own systems to allow you to create your own character as you see fit. Plus, if you decide to in beta, you could export your character on how it looks. So if you're in beta right now and you're playing this and you're like, yeah, I want to play this, you can actually go ahead and once you're finished, once you go into your character selection screen at the very bottom, it'll say export file. And once you get into the launch itself, you can actually import that file later on in launch for easier character creation because you already saved your information. So the character creation is pretty okay. It does well enough. I wish the hairstyles themselves was a bit more, I guess, diverse. We do get that again in the cash shop, and I'm really hoping that they'll put the cash shop hairstyles over into the character creation instead because it doesn't really look that well on the cash shop, but that's just my opinion about it. As for the graphics, I mean, do I really have to mention how gorgeous the game is? I mean, just look at it. It's using the Havoc engine to create the game, and soon coming to Unreal Engine 4. The game looks beautiful, and it's massive in its world creation. It's not crazy over the top, mind you, but it's still beautiful. And I can't wait to see what the new engine upgrade brings to the table. In fact, I found a little video from the development team on the upcoming Unreal Engine 4 update, and here's kind of what it looks like. Now let's talk about the leveling system. The game's overall leveling system is pretty simple. You basically do a billion quests and go bald while learning about the entire world of Sword of Legends Online. Now you can of course just farm a bunch of dungeons for some extra XP, but I did find that there are certain gaps in the game where you'll need to do heroic events, which are region-based events, or dungeons to get that extra XP for help in leveling. So some of these gaps are, for example, from level 33 to 34, I believe even level 23 to 24, or 24 to 25. I don't remember at this point in my head, but basically what you'll need to do is you're going to need to grind a little bit more XP to get on out there. So for example, you have your biographies, which are little quests you can do about the game to kind of learn about everybody. The green quests, which I said are heroic events already. Your dailies, which you normally have too many, but you do have some dailies on there, and it'll give you enough XP to push you over. So for example, in the beginner phase, you have level 1 to level 36. From that, you're a beginner. On to level 37, afterwards, you'll be level 1 student, and then you can level up to 36 or 37 again. And finally, you'll be able to go into the last phase, which I believe there are 3 phases. So if you want to think about it like Call of Duty's prestige system, it's something that makes it a little bit more understandable, where basically you get to level 50 and then you go back to 1 to 50 or whatever. Now, you also find yourself doing a lot of drill versions of dungeons, which essentially are just nice story-based tutorial versions of the dungeons to get you ready for normal and then later hard mode and extreme modes of those specific dungeons. Now, you'll be doing like 10-man raids or 20-man raids. As for PvP, I know a lot of players are actually hoping for PvP because you haven't seen it from an MMORPG in a long time, at least a good one. Now, when you reach your first max level, so I believe level 37, you'll be able to turn on player versus player or player killing and kill players that are also on the max level with you. So the way that it works, and unfortunately I don't have any footage about this, so I'll explain as best as I could. You have good chi and bad chi. So let's say good energy and bad energy. You also have a mode called Rampage. Once you activate Rampage, from the moment that you do so, all of your good energy or your good chi will turn evil, or you'll basically dissipate it all. You'll be now evil. So from this point on, you can now find other players and kill them, but the more you do, the more evil actions that it will affect your jail time. And yes, I did say that. Jail time.
Jail time. Jail time. Jail time. Jail time.
So if a guard in the game ends up killing you, and they may just do that, let's be real, because if you're doing it in any city, they're probably going to kill you, you'll be taken to prison. So you could end up waiting there 6 hours, 12 hours, 24, whatever it is, or you could do some mini games in there to possibly get out sooner. However, to regenerate your good energy or your good chi, you'll need to farm heroic events and dungeons until you bleed and recuperate the good energy that you've lost. You also have battlegrounds and different events and dueling, of course, to participate in for PvP, but we'll get into that for another video. And yes, there is PvP in the game, basically. It's not just PvE. Plus, there's also PvP gear and PvP specific enchanting items, if that's a route you want to take. Now for PvE. Though PvE is the main focus, given that's how you level up and, well, your overall story, the dungeons that I managed to play were pretty fun, albeit the drill versions of the dungeons where you can actually take some companions that you find in game and kill off things faster, and I found that they were actually more powerful than me, which is very sad. But there's 5-man, 10-man, and 20-man versions of dungeons and raids. Now during your adventures in the game, you'll find yourself killing endless mobs, not in a Black Desert kind of way where you're basically just growing old and, I don't know, crying inside, but more so in a fact that this quest requires you to kill specific mob 3 to 16 times kind of way. That's that kind of way. Now overall, the combat system is just so pleasing to play that I didn't even mind that much because the PvE was pretty much fun. So let's talk about the combat system. So in my previous live stream, I actually mentioned a little bit about the combat system, and there was some confusion in the comments, so I will try to clarify that as best as I can. Now, Swords of Legends Online offers 2 combat systems that you can use simply by pressing the control button. So you have your standard tap target system that you can use if you desire, which personally, after playing Terra for so long in Blade and Soul and while other titles that I've used action combat, I decided to opt into action combat. Now action combat is a bit more flowy, similar to that of Terra, with the targeting of Blade and Soul. At least I would say if you were kind of to compare, I guess. Now you can also do the combination of action combat and tab targeting. So while you have your action combat mode up, so it's basically camera based, you're just attacking wherever you want, whatever you want, whoever's around. If you attack one mob and there's people around it, you attack all of them. It's not just one specific thing like it used to be back in, you know, 1437. So you can alternatively just press tab to select that one thing. I think that will work a lot more better for the healers, but that's what you have. Now you don't have to use tab, you don't have to use tab target or action combat. I mean, you could just sit down and cry, so you don't have to, but it is an option for those more familiar with that type of combat. There are those 3 kind of options. There's a little hybrid, there's full on action combat, and then there's full on tab targeting. As for my final thoughts, all in all, I had a very pleasant time with the alpha on Sword of Legends Online. It kept me focused, I kept playing and just enjoying the entire time that I was in on it. I even found some beautiful friends along the way.
Wait, Sarumonin? Wait, as in Sarumonin? Sarumonin?
What about Sarumonin?
He's right here.
Saru! Where is he? Let me fangirl over here. Oh my god. Let me look at their character.
I am playing the sword mage, whatever the sword mage is. Wait, is Saru streaming right now?
Oh, you were doing the heroic event.
By the way, Mr. and Mrs. Sticks, I love you guys. Thank you so much for always supporting my channel. You guys are so crazy. And for those watching here, if you haven't already, and I'm pretty sure you have anyways, make sure to subscribe to MMOBite. They have always been supportive of my channel as much as they can. And yeah, go subscribe if you haven't. And if you have, subscribe again. So unsubscribe and subscribe again and tell them Saru sent you, or I'll be upset. Now, anyways, yes, the game was lots of fun, the graphics were amazing, the combat was fluid, and the movement felt like water. Everything was just perfect. And the flying system, I didn't mention it in this video, but you could just fly forever. Yes, you can boost for a limited amount of time, but overall you can just fly for the rest of the game if you really wanted to. And the emotes are extremely detailed. Like, you can do literally anything in this game, and it's mind-blowing to me. I'm shook. I'm shook, guys. Now everything was just a perfect alpha, and I hope it stays that way, because if MMORPG history has taught me before, sometimes the alpha or beta version ends up being the best. So Gameforge, if you're watching this, please don't mess it up. Don't mess it up, fellas. Let's make this game crazy good. Alright, what did you guys think about this game? Personally, I found my new MMORPG for PC. I'm in love. Let me know what you guys think below, and we'll talk about it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and click that adorable f***ing bell to know when I upload a brand new video. And don't forget to come join my Discord if you want to chat and hang out. Much love and as always, till next time friends.